Hi, my name is Joanna. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be talking about everything that I made in 2024. The year has gone so crazy fast. If you haven't visited my channel before, hi, I'm Joanna. I love sewing, I love knitting, I love cross stitch, I love making all kinds of things, and I post content here on YouTube and a lot on Instagram as well. And before I begin, actually, my dog Charlie wants to say hello. He's scratching at the chair. There you go, Charlie. There you go. So everyone say hello to Charlie. He's a very needy dog. Mwah. If you're going to bark, you have to go, okay? So you can either sit on my lap like a good boy. You can't stay like that though, because then your head is at the bottom of the screen. So you got to choose now. Why don't I bring your bed in here and then you can... Okay, let's do that. After that interlude, I'm ready to get started. So I'm going to go all the way back to January. I'm looking on my iPad to help me actually remember everything that I've made, because I think I've made a lot. I started the year actually finishing off a knitting project, which was a scarf. I actually got the wool from taking it apart from a cardigan I'd previously knitted, and I learned this term is called frogging, and that is something I did not know until like a month ago. So I frogged the wool from the cardigan, and I remember wearing it to the beach on New Year's Day, I think, or earlier on in January. It was quite scary taking apart the cardigan because, you know, like I'd spent hours making that cardigan, but I just never really wore it. The scarf came out really nice. It's actually super long though. Like I just didn't stop knitting for some reason when it got to like a sensible length. I'm gonna assign ratings out of 10 to everything I made. This scarf, I think I'd rate it like a 6, because it is really nice. It's well knitted, but I don't wear it. Okay, the next thing was actually another thing that I made over the Christmas holidays. So I normally go to my almost in-laws. I'm engaged, I'm not married yet, but my in-laws over Christmas, and I, for the first time, brought down my sewing machine with me. So I brought like a small project that wouldn't need like an overlocker and all, you know, those extra things. It was a bag, and it's the Crosstown Crescent pattern, which I absolutely love. It was such a good pattern to make, and the YouTube video is so detailed and really, really great. The make itself, I absolutely love, and that bag actually was my go-to bag for like the first half of the year, maybe. I really love it. I actually used to have a bag in the same fabric when I was a teenager, so I really wanted to make a bag in the exact same fabric. I'd rate this an 8 or 9, like probably a 9. The bag itself is amazing. It fits so much in. So if you're looking for a bag pattern, I definitely suggest that pattern. It was actually the first bag I ever sewed. Okay, next up, I really wanted to make like a comfortable everyday hoodie. This is really nice, this hoodie, but I think I've worn it once. The main reason for that is because I really don't like the stripe up the front, and the stripe up the front was actually a mistake. So what I did was I cut the front and back out of fleece, black polar fleece, but I accidentally cut I cut the front on the fold and the back on the fold like you're supposed to, but then I accidentally like sliced up the side, like the fold for the front. So I was like, that was wrong. I'm gonna have to fix that somehow. So I had some of the burgundy fleece left, and I was like, I'll just have to make a stripe up the front. Like, it will be fine. It fits, but I really don't like the look of it. It's really sad. And also, I added thumb holes, which are great, but they're a bit like in the wrong place, so it kind of pulls, which isn't ideal really. It's a nice hoodie, like it's warm. I give that like a 3. The stripe, it's not good. So that was basically the first item of clothing that I made this year. Oh, also over the holidays, I made loads of these hexies. Like I got really into English paper piecing. I made loads of these flowers, and I bought a quilt pattern. It was the Small Changes quilt by Tales of Cloth, and I was determined I was going to make it, and then after about like 10 I got distracted and moved on to something else. So I've got these all just in a drawer. This year I was determined to make my first ever coat, and I did that. I did it in January. So that is another thing I made this year. It took me ages because I had no idea what I was doing. I'd never made a coat before. It has leather arms and it's like fully fitted, and it did up with poppers on the inside, and it was a Simplicity pattern, I think, or McCall's. Okay, no, it wasn't either of those. It was a Vogue pattern. It was in this boiled wool fabric, which was really nice to work with, actually. Like, I thought it was going to be very difficult, but it wasn't. I have never worn this coat. I know, this video is turning into confession time. I don't really like the look of it. I was imagining it was going to be more form-fitted, and I did make a toile, but I made it out of like a duvet cover, and then I didn't really put much effort into it and didn't put sleeves on, and it's not really that flattering, I think. I do like the contrast sleeves. So what am I going to rate it? 3? 3? I'm gonna rate it a 3. It was a really good experience. I'd never made a coat before. That's the only coat I've ever made, so I do want to make another one. Maybe next year, 2025, I can make another one and compare how much I've learned. Moving swiftly on, I had this idea to make like shorts you could wear around the pool in toweling fabric after you'd been swimming, but my vision like didn't really come out that great, and my sister told me they made me look really frumpy. They fit me very well, and they, you know, were very comfortable, but the look was not that great. I basically changed them by unpicking the waistband. I took out the elastic, and then I made a new waistband out of like some cotton fabric, and I made some buttonholes so on the front for like a fake drawstring. Another confession is I've never worn them. Yeah, a bit of a flop, I suppose, but I'm sure someone would wear them, just not for me. But then something I made out of the scraps of this fabric, I have used loads, and that is this Beach Please zipper pouch. And I have taken this on several holidays, and I use it to put everything in by the pool. I put some heat transferable vinyl on this for the Beach Please design and used my Cricut machine to cut that out. Then the first dress I made in 2024, and that is this yellow dress. And I absolutely love this pattern. I've made it once before, so this was my second iteration. And it's really gorgeous. It's got like those 40s, 50s vibes. And look at those sleeves. Those sleeves are gorgeous. And I had never made that sleeve variation before, actually. So that was really fun. And it was in this fabric, which was actually given to me by a neighbour who was getting rid of some bed sheets. And luckily they were bright yellow because I needed yellow fabric for an event I was going to, which was So Yellow for Endo. It was straight after the Stitch Up in London, so it was a very busy day. I was super exhausted by the end of it, but it was so nice seeing everyone in their yellow outfits. And yeah, whilst I'm on the topic, the Stitch Festival was super fun. I got to meet so many sewing friends from online and also lots of sewing bees, so that was really exciting. After I made that yellow dress, I was determined to do a third iteration that fit me a little better, because I noticed when I was having lunch and I was sat down that like the fabric around my bust area was like gaping open and you could see my bra. So I wanted to like fit it a little better around that area. So I made a toile out of some other old bed sheets from my neighbour and managed to get it to fit really nicely. And then I made it out of this gorgeous pastel floral fabric, and it is cotton sateen. It's absolutely stunning and I love this dress. This is probably my favourite dress I've made this year. I've worn it loads on holidays and all throughout the summer. I rate this dress 10 out of 10. Absolutely love it. and I made a matching hair bow to go with it. Then I made the Nell blouse by Tilly and the Buttons. I made it in this gorgeous rose print. I absolutely adore a rose print. I was a pattern tester actually for this pattern, so I think I sewed it maybe in April, but I couldn't post it to anywhere until May when they released it. I've worn that top to work several times, just out and about. I haven't worn it much recently. I feel like it's a bit too big on me, but because it's a blouse, it doesn't really matter. I'd rate it a 7. That seems fair. Okay, next up, I made this Rita blouse by Charm Patterns, who, if you don't already know, I absolutely love. And I love it. It's in this gorgeous strawberry print, which I still have quite a lot of, so I need to make other stuff with because I absolutely love it. It's a cotton poplin. It's a gorgeous top that I have worn actually quite a lot. It's particularly good for on holidays and stuff, and it fits me really nicely. The only thing is it's a bit of a pain to take on and off because it is not stretch, but you've got a zip going up like your side, and it's just a bit tricky to like take it over your shoulders when it's all like fitted. 7, maybe 8. I do love it. Moving on, so we're at the end of June now, and I was charity shopping and I found this gorgeous seersucker blanket, and I instantly knew it had to be transformed. I really wanted it to be like a baby doll dress for easy wearing in summer, but there wasn't quite enough fabric. But I made a smock top using the Tilly and the Buttons indigo pattern. I love wearing it. I've worn it quite a lot. The only problem is I think something snapped when I last wore it. I've got it somewhere in the sewing room to fix. I just haven't done it yet. I remember wearing it to the airport once, and it was just perfect for like traveling in. Really airy, light and airy, and great for summer. Then I made a 1950s sun top out of this gorgeous navy purplish blue cotton sateen with really gorgeous vintage buttons that used to be my grandma's. It is nice. Yeah, I haven't worn it since I made it. The only thing is it's really gapey around the square neckline. I really don't suit a square neckline, so I'm not really sure why I thought I would suit this. Oh, you know what? I remember the story of this now. So I was making some shorts actually in this cotton sateen, and they went completely wrong, and they were awful. They looked so bad, and I'd used green chalk on, I don't know why, and the chalk just was not coming out, and they were just really bad. They weren't fitting me properly, and I'd been gifted this fabric, so I had to make something with it to post online, and I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? Like, I need to make something, and I had a small amount left, so I thought, oh yeah, a really small like crop top would be perfect. So that's why I went for the square neckline crop top in this sewing pattern, because originally I bought this sewing pattern to make view A, which has like a really cute collar and like is a halter with gathered under the bust. I'd rate it a 1. The vintage buttons are so nice though, like they are so gorgeous. I'll be taking it off this, I think, to use on something else. And the fabric is gorgeous. It is stunning, so soft. I really, really wanted those shorts to turn out nicely, and I really should have done a twirl. I don't know why I didn't do a twirl. Then I did some more English paper piecing, and I made like this flower, and that is just sat somewhere in the sewing room. It wasn't English paper piecing, it was foundation paper piecing, which is different. And that was my first experience with foundation paper piecing, so that's what I was doing. I was just experimenting. It was really fun, definitely recommend. Around this time, I made this gorgeous shirt for James, and it's so arty. I was actually just gonna make like a plain blue one, like baby blue for holidays, but he saw this fabric and he was like, no, I need a shirt in that fabric. So I was like, okay. And it's a Tony shirt by Emporia Patterns, and I've got loads of the fabric left because I wanted to make a matching maxi skirt, so I'm going to do that, and it will be next summer. We'll go around in our matching outfits and look really cute. Then I realised I had a gap in my wardrobe, which is white, just a plain white top, So I made the Agnes top by Tilling the Buttons, which is a pattern I've wanted to try for years, but I just never got around to it. And it was really nice, like really good pattern. I love the ruche sleeves. Oh, then back to this gorgeous cotton sateen fabric. This is the top I was talking about, which is actually a dress, and it is the Estella dress by Schultz Apparel. And I didn't have enough to make the dress, and also this top, I can't remember, I think I ruined it. I can't remember how. I think there's something to do with the boning, because the top requires boning at the back where there's a lace up back, and I think I hadn't put it, and I took the top apart to put it in, and then I ruined it. Moving swiftly on, this Marley swimming costume, the pattern is by Edgewater Avenue, and it was gorgeous. I absolutely love it, and I've worn this swimming costume loads. It's so gorgeous. I love the cutout. I love the shape on me. So I've worn it in swimming pools, I've worn it in the sea, and yeah, I just love it. So that's an 8 or 9. Yeah, there is a downside, as with all my sewing, because it's not perfect. The butt, the elastic around the butt like rolls quite a bit, so like rolls in. It looks a bit strange sometimes, but I normally just like pull it out like a wedgie. This dress is stunning. It's the Estella dress by Schultz Apparel, like the top in pastel floral that I ruined, but this is the dress version. And I really wanted to get it done in time for my holiday, but I also didn't want to rush the process, so I ended up not finishing it in time for my holiday, which is really sad because the holiday was in September. And then when I came back to the UK, it was too cold to wear it. I got to wear it for like an hour, and then it started pouring. I never really wear maxi dresses, but this one I absolutely love. And I'll be taking it out next summer and taking it on holidays, so I can't wait for that. I'd say it's like an 8 or a 9. I just haven't had the opportunity to wear it. Next up, I did some upcycling, and I really wanted this McLaren top that I saw in the M&S kids section. And it sold out like instantly. It just sold out everywhere. And then I set up notifications on my phone for it to alert me when it was back in stock. And suddenly I got an alert when I was on the tube saying that it was back in stock. And I looked, and the only sizes were like 13 to 14. So I quickly ordered it whilst I was on the tube. It was huge. It was massive. Like, it did say it was an oversized top, but I didn't think it was going to be that huge. Like, it was age 13, but it was boys. It was age 13 boys. Anyway, it was huge, and I was like, I'm not going to wear that. When am I going to wear that? I much prefer fitted tops. So what I did was I cut it up, basically, and changed it. So I used the main front and back because of the cool McLaren logos. And then the sleeves I cut up and I dyed, as well as the neckband actually, I dyed them orange, which was terrifying because I have never dyed clothing before and I had no idea what I was doing, but it was really easy, and it looked red whilst I was dyeing it, so that was scary, but it came out a nice, really nice pale orange. I made another bag, which was awesome. I don't think I'm actually allowed to share it on here because it was gifted to me, and it is a bag kit that is being released in January. So the final photos are top secret. You can see all the materials I got sent on my Instagram in a reel. I'm not allowed to share pictures of the final thing until January. So look out for that. I must say, it is stunning, and since I finished it, it's been my handbag. Like, I literally take it everywhere. If I'm going to the shops, going to work, like, it comes everywhere with me. Stunning. 10 out of 10 actually. Gorgeous pattern, gorgeous fabric. The pattern is the Redwood Tote by Noodlehead. Then I started knitting a jumper. So I don't know why, but I got really obsessed with researching yarn. So I bought some merino wool, and I started knitting a jumper, which is great, but I've never made a jumper before, so it's been a lot of work. And also my fingers have started feeling really like tired, but not like enough to stop me from knitting, so I'm still knitting a bit. Okay, next up is potentially like actually also a 9 or a 10. These trousers I made very recently, and they are so amazing. And I've worn them to work, I've worn them at home. I absolutely love them. Actually, you know what? They're a 10. The only downside, they don't have pockets, but I wanted them to be like super form-fitting and smooth, so I purposely didn't put pockets on them. They are entirely stretch fabric and pull on, like there's no buttons, there's no zippers, and that makes them so comfortable. They look really good. The colour's amazing as well. The most recent garment I've made is this really glittery dress. I was making it as a dress I would hopefully wear on Christmas Day, but it literally sheds glitter everywhere. I just feel like I can't do that to my in-laws. I will show you now actually, because it's right here. So this is it. And if you can't already tell by my jumper, I absolutely love glitter. But yeah, this is just, it's really stunning, but it just sheds glitter everywhere. Probably covering myself in it right now. So I don't know whether to wear that on Christmas. For those interested in the pattern, it is the Joni dress by Tilly and the Buttons, which is in Stretch, I think. There. Which is one of my favourite sewing books. It's a gorgeous dress. I just don't want to get glitter everywhere. Just been making Christmas cards and little bits and pieces ready to wind down for a break over the holidays. I've also been making some gifts, but I obviously can't show them on here because the people I'm gifting them to will probably see. And Charlie has just been scratching at the door because he wanted to say hello. It's actually the end of the video, Charlie, so you've come in at a good time, and thank you for not bothering me before. Thank you for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I hope it provided you with some inspiration for things you could make yourself. If you want to see more of my videos, please click the subscribe button. And with that, we will wish you happy sewing, and we hope you have a really happy Christmas and a happy New Year. Bye!